Hello, it is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, which means some kind of interesting or unique theme. We'll find out soon enough. And this interesting or unique edition of the Daily Solve is brought to us by a new benefactor. Welcome and thank you to Lunar Society Champion, who has enrolled in the Daily Solve Patreon campaign and therefore is helping support this channel even when I'm traveling, as I am now, although I'm back home tomorrow, so shouldn't have any more missing videos in the near future anyway. So in any case, thank you so much to Lunar Society Champion for signing up and helping to support this channel when I'm away and when I'm at home and all the other times. And Lunar Society Champion, they're joined, of course, as always, by the indomitable Showmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to those three benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign for that ongoing support. If you'd like to join their ranks, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons. And for benefactors, like those I've just mentioned, the official Let's Check the Crosses Daily Solve mug. Thank you so much to them and everybody who supports the channel via Patreon at any level. There's also, of course, the YouTube channel you're watching. You can subscribe to it, and that helps out. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community linked in the description field. All right, let's get on, shall we, to today's crossword, a Thursday-themed puzzle by Kathleen Duncan, whose debut this is. So welcome to Kathleen. It will have some kind of interesting or intricate theme. We'll find out just what that is soon enough. And it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving. Okay. All right, we have a themed clue right off the bat. We can infer this because it's italicized. That generally applies to theme-related clues. So interview with the vampire and Prince of Thorns. Interview with the Vampire. That's Anne Rice, isn't it? It's the Anne Rice novel, and it was adapted into a film. Prince of Thorns might be. I don't know if that's in the same series, or I don't know. I don't recognize that one. What about? Oh, here's another one. Borat, and this is Spinal Tap. Okay, so maybe these are not the same sort of series or author because these two films are not made by the same directors or writers. So, but they do share a genre. So Borat and This is Spinal Tap are both mockumentaries. They're filmed to appear as though they're genuine documentaries made about legitimate subjects, but in fact the subjects are actors, of course, and the films are largely improvised. So, I mean, obviously, so Borat and Spinal Tap are mockumentaries. I mean, we can't fit that in this entry. So we could do something like put in a rebus. I don't know if we're actually going to do this in this puzzle today, but you could do something like, this mockumentary. I mean, it says Borat and This is Spinal Tap, so presumably it will be mockumentaries, plural, or some other similar word. But I'm just showing one potential way we could deal with this theme. I don't think it'll be this way, but that's through using the rebus function, which you can see here. You can turn it on and off rebus, and when it's on, you can type in many letters into a single cell. So that's a possible way we could handle this. Because it's italicized, we know that it will be related to the theme, and so there might be something like that, but we'll get to it. Out of my way. Shoe, maybe? Okay. Or scat, maybe? Out of my way. Move. Oh, move might be good because that M begins mockumentary, so maybe it will actually be that. And then deferential, obsequious, or obeyant, or what about this? Overly big. Well, if it's something like it's not obeyant. What's the word? Obeisant. Overly big could be obese. Let's see. Obeisant. No, obeisant. There we go. That's it. I think this is right. Let's see. 1 of 10 in a millennium. Well, you have 10 centuries in a millennium because 10 units of 100 years in 1,000 years. So it's abbreviated, as the clue says. So century. So this is looking like we're getting towards mockumentary. What about this? To josh someone is to kid them, so that works with that. And then to put something to work or to put someone to work is to, could it start with a U again for mockumentary? To, don't know. What about this? Looks like vendetta, maybe? Yes. More than a mere grudge is a vendetta, a deeply held ill will against someone for a perceived slight. Put to work. Oh, it's put to work in the past tense. So if you put something to work, you used it. There we go. So will this be an M? Like some socks and chess players. Mated, right. So if you lose a game of chess, you're mated, you're checkmated, and then socks are mated because they come in pairs of two. They have a mate. All right, so return to a PC keyboard. So, all right, so the return key, well, typically on computer keyboards, on a Macintosh computer, the key in question is called return, but on a PC keyboard, a Windows computer, it's often called enter. I think that's what we're looking at here. Oh, I see. So mockumentary goes around the edge of the grid. Oh, and it looks like it will just be singular, mockumentary. So I guess what it means here is Borat and This Is Spinal Tap are part of the genre of mockumentary. So we're not saying they are two individual mockumentaries. We're saying these are two examples of mockumentary. So that's why we still have a sort of singular answer, but it's not really singular in the sense of a noun. It's more of a kind of adjective describing a genre. Okay, so, but that is correct. So we didn't need to do any rebuses, so I showed you that for no reason. But we can see here the answer curves around the grid, and then 13 down actually has no clue whatsoever because it's just the conclusion of 6 across. All right, so there it is. So vendetta, here we have animal known for freezing under pressure, deer, right, from which we get the phrase deer in headlights. And then deadpan humor is dry humor, some of which you can find in Borat and This Is Spinal Tap, really mainly This Is Spinal Tap. Okay, so then what about this again? Interview with the Vampire and Prince of Thorns. I assume 5 down will be a dash, and it is. So maybe vampire fiction or something like that? That's too long. I don't know. What about this? Dollop. A dab? That's been in the grid a few times in recent weeks. And let's see if that works. Like some experimental music. Alt or avant-garde is too long. I don't know. Valentine's Day sentiment. Be mine? That's it's one of the phrases you sometimes find on the little candy hearts that are distributed on Valentine's Day. Let's see. Verb that sounds like a number and is a letter backwards. Verb that sounds like a number. 1? No. Oh, no, that's the number itself. Sorry. What is the verb that sounds like a number? This should be so obvious, shouldn't it? How can I not think of this? Maybe this isn't be mine. Oh, 8. 8. If you ate food, that's a verb. That sounds like the number 8. Is that a letter backwards? Oh, it is, and it's a Greek letter. It's eta. Right. I was thinking, oh, it looks like 10, but it's not. But no, it's not correct at all. It's eta. It's a Greek letter backwards. All right, fair enough. Bit of a tricky one there. CD follower, so phrase, CD-ROM, compact disc read-only memory is a increasingly outdated phrase and storage format. Okay, potato turnover, a knish maybe? Let's see. Can't think of another one that would fit in 5 letters with an I there. Blaney wouldn't be a potato turnover. This is probably right. Like some experimental music. Oh, atonal. There we go. So it's atonal. It doesn't follow a traditional sort of 8-note kind of Western scale. All right. I mean, there are other tonal systems that are obviously not that one, but anyway. Right. So dark something. Interview with the Vampire and Prince of Thorns. Dark fantasy? I bet that's right. Dark fantasy. That sounds correct. And then they might be all over the map. States maybe, right. So it could be nation states of the world, or it could be states of a country like the United States or Australia or something. Okay, sprang at is leapt at. And blank Holden, U.S. soccer player turned commentary. I don't know, but it looks like Stu, doesn't it? Just in terms of it being a common name. Let's see if that works. Nice one, you got me. I don't know. What about this? Noted criminal extradited to the U.S. in 2017. Oh, El Chapo? Drug trafficker? Let's see. The Thursday Murder Club and A Killer Sunday. Crime novels? Is the Thursday Murder Club, is that... No, I was going to say, is that the one by Richard Osman? But I don't think it is. I don't think I know these books, but I bet they're crime novels. Does that work? Crime novels? Let's see. One named singer who's a former member of One Direction. I'm not actually sure about that. What about this one? Go out with. Okay, maybe not novels, because to go out with someone is to see them. And prefix with soul or classical. I mean, a common prefix for music genres is neo, so neo-soul or neoclassical for a kind of revival of that genre. Stash, to stash something could be to stow it, to kind of hide it away. And get that away from me, ooh, you might say. And people celebrated worldwide on March 8th. Is that International Women's Day? I think that's correct. Okay, so crime. I can't think what this is. Surely it's crime something. The Thursday Murder Club and A Killer Sunday. That's got to be crime fiction. Well, let's double check, because maybe it's not. You Come Blank, Robert Frost collection. Is it You Come Or? Maybe this isn't crime. Really would have expected it to be. Dither. To dither is to maybe dally, to delay. Well, actually, it could be delay. Dally or delay. Let's see if it starts with D. Singer. No, it doesn't, because Singer James is Etta James, I presume, anyway. So to dither is to... Don't... Tardy, that's an adjective. Don't... I can't think what this is. You come... Oh, You Come To? Robert Frost collection? That could be it. Selection at the... Yes, a selection at the butcher could be a loin, like a pork loin, for instance. So I think that is You Come To. So, okay, so then what are these? The Thursday Murder Club and A Killer Sunday are... comic crime? I don't know. Dither. Why can I not see what this is? To dither is to... Don't know. Actress Anya Taylor-Joy. There we go. I recognize that name at least. One named... And just as a person. One named singer who's a former... Oh, boy, I think I actually do recognize this. Zayn. I couldn't tell you anything about this person, but I do think I've seen the name in connection with being a former member of One Direction. I don't know if this is a Y or an I. I think it might be a Y. Oh, cozy. I bet this is cozy something. Oh, a dither. You're in a dither. You're in a tizzy. Is that what this is? Okay. So this is cozy... mystery, that's what it'll be. It's not crime, it's mystery. I mean, it probably involves crimes, but there we go. Okay, that all makes sense finally. So I think we've seen everything up here. What about this? Nice one, you got me. Touché, you might say, to someone with a clever riposte. Lady Bird and Stand By Me. Coming of age, maybe? Yes, there we go. That sounds correct for both of those. All right, so films. What about this? Cher's catchphrase in Clueless. It's a great film. I've definitely seen it. What is her catchphrase? I can't remember. Maybe it'll be obvious when it goes in. I don't know. Locale for a cochlea. That's part of the ear. Oh, it's as if. Yes, yes. Yes, she would say as if. I do remember that now that it's in there. Okay. Kind of cucumber that isn't a vegetable. A sea cucumber. It was an animal. And then the Knights of Ren, shadowy side group in Star Wars, right? So that's the Adam Driver character's affiliation or what have you. Food thickener is agar. There we go. Also known as agar agar. And bundle of paper or grain is a sheaf, as in bringing in the sheaves. And then poetic contraction that omits a V is or. Oh, that's funny. Or. So that was a word that I was speculating might have been in here. You come or, because, as indeed as it says, it's a poetic contraction. So when I saw the name Robert Frost, I thought maybe that poetic contraction is in use. But nope, not over there, rather over here. Might to Shakespeare. Mayhap, it might be the case. Mayhap be the case. Let's see. Spanish letter before te. Spanish letter. Is this sort of like phonetically spelled out? I don't quite understand what we're looking for there. Sorry about that if this is very obvious to you. I'm not gonna put that in because I can't confirm it here. And I'm not certain about mayhap. That was just my kind of offhand guess. Grid lines perhaps are. Not sure about that one either. What about this? Some, a few, some. That's straightforward enough. Jokesters are wags, maybe. People, yeah. You're a bit of a wag, you're a jokester, you're a real card. One of many listed on the back of a tour shirt. You might see all the gigs that a particular band is playing. And button added to Apple's Messages app in 2022. Oh, to edit a text message, or an iMessage, I guess, more accurately in this case. And eponymous Italian designer Mario. Oh, is it Mario Prada? Is Mario Prada the founder of the fashion house Prada, or important figure within it? Downton Abbey and Shogun are period pieces. That could be it. That fits. I have to say, I really enjoyed both of those. And grid lines, perhaps, are what? I don't know still. Get is to obtain, probably. That fits, and it looks reasonably correct. Skinny white mushroom enoki is a skinny white mushroom. 1980s New York Mayor Ed Koch. There we go. It looks like you might pronounce it Ed Koch, but not in this particular case. And one of them, don't see what that is. Sports organization that now includes UC Berkeley and Stanford, strangely enough. I don't actually know this sort of just from my own head, but because it says strangely enough, I'm guessing, is the ACC the Atlantic Coast or something conference? There's something like that, and I think there's something with Atlantic in the name because it would be traditionally for East Coast schools, but I wonder if now it includes these schools, one of which I went to. I went to UC Berkeley, but I don't know this. I'm kind of just guessing. Items that gather lather are loofahs, which are, you could lather soap in the shower with one. There she goes, 1988, hit by the laws. That sounds likely. So I think this is looking right. And then, one of them is a foe, your enemy. I see, of course. And then far from fresh, it's stale, and that could be literal or metaphorical. Grid lines, perhaps I see, are streets, so in a city organized by a grid system. And then might was not mayhap, but rather might to Shakespeare mayest. And then Spanish letter before te. S-A-T. Okay, I guess sorry, I'm not quite sure I'm following this one. I apologize for that. I'm sure many of you are yelling at the screen, wondering why I'm not understanding this, but you can let me know in the comments. And then a floating mass is a berg, like an iceberg, or more disgustingly in a sewer, perhaps, a fatberg. And here's a dash, which means we've got an answer here. So mixing thematic elements and tropes, or a feature of this puzzle, genre bending. That's what that's what this will be. That makes sense, because indeed, our genres are bending around. Are they all the corners of the grid? I think oh no, they're not, because we had this here as well. So they're not necessarily all the corners of the grid, although it does include some of the corners of the grid. But in general, they're bending around corners of the grid or otherwise. All right, there we go. So an Atlanta school is probably Georgia State University, I would guess. Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see. Mr. Reed to Jane Eyre, uncle, her uncle in the novel Jane Eyre, and person with the shift after a long one of yours, a reliever, someone who's going to relieve you. Yeah, so someone who has the shift after yours might come and relieve you. I think that'll be right. Bird-related prefix, AV, as in, same root as aviation, flying. Subject of Homer's loathing on The Simpsons. Homer loathes his next-door neighbor, Ned Flanders. And second calling, your nickname, a sort of second name by which you're known, by which you're called. Let's see. Similar is, yes, something similar to something else that's akin to it. And a mythical forge locale would be Mount Etna, the volcano. And then Dave Steeb, I guess, 7-time All-Star pitcher for the Blue Jays. All right, I don't recognize that name, but I think that must be right. So let's find out. There we go. All right, and I made sure to solve in a location that was in Wi-Fi range today, so my streak did not get interrupted. Thank you to those of you in the comments who pointed out that I had risked losing my streak when I solved the puzzle without internet access, and I wouldn't have known that, and I wouldn't have realized that it was actually a problem. So thank you for that. All right, well, there we go. That was the Thursday crossword. Let's take a look at our theme, which mixed thematic elements and tropes. A feature of this puzzle being genre bending. So we had several bent genres here. We had, and I guess, right, so I didn't fully appreciate as I was solving the puzzle that not only are these bending around corners, but they're also, all of these genres are combining other genres. So we have dark fantasy, or combining maybe not other genres. I don't know if dark necessarily would be considered a genre, but it's combining different themes to create a subgenre or a new genre. And in some case, a conflation of two. So mockumentary, of course, combining sort of satire and documentary. So we've got dark fantasy, mockumentary, we've got cozy mystery, we have coming of age. I don't know if that one's necessarily a combination of genres, is it? Don't know. And we've got a period piece. Yeah, okay, so maybe they're not all sort of hybrid genres per se. But you could consider them maybe all subgenres, coming of age and period piece, maybe subgenre of drama, mockumentary, maybe a subgenre of comedy, dark fantasy, a subgenre of, I suppose, fantasy, and cozy mystery, a subgenre of mystery more generally. So I think in that sense, these are kind of particular genres that maybe combine some elements, some specific elements. And they make up this theme of genre bending. And there we have it. That was our Thursday crossword, a nice debut construction from our constructor. And that was that. I should be back tomorrow normally with the Friday puzzle. I'm back at home tomorrow and then here for the foreseeable future. So thank you for joining me once again on the Daily Solve, and I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.